Truck vendor, motion? Second. Morris? Mr. Joseph, thank you.
Good afternoon, Madam Mayor and Council. About a little over 2 months ago, I initiated conversations, excuse me, with the owners of One Team LLC. What they would like to do is bring a permanent food truck here to Georgetown 6 days a week. And in these conversations over the past about 2.5 months, met with our city administrator and had multiple conversations with our city attorney. Throughout these 2.5 months, we have come up with the ordinance and the lease agreement that you have before you today, for first reading. Our plan is, if this goes through approval, we will put this food truck at our old city hall property at the corner of Prince and Fraser, and they will be there lunch 6 days a week. And of course, I'll answer any questions you may have.
Yes, sir.
I have a question, but it's not necessarily specific to this food truck vendor or the lease. Am I okay? But it has to do with food trucks.
Yep.
So the food trucks, the ordinances that we've had passed, food trucks are required to have a business license. This vendor will have a business license.
Absolutely.
The vendor will have to have, I'm assuming, some form of food safety certification,
They will.
DHEC or what have you.
They will have full liability insurance as well as DX certification.
I see sometimes on the weekends, sometimes during the day in different commercial parking lots, picnic tents set up, people selling food, whether it's High Market Street or North Fraser Street. What is our safeguard to make sure that those people are operating with a business license? Do we have, and maybe that's more
Yes,
Peter,
we do. Derek Harrelson, our code enforcement officer, is also our business license enforcement officer.
okay.
And if Derek sees or is informed about anything like that, he automatically checks it out. Obviously, on the weekends, that's a little more problematic, since we typically don't work on the weekends, but as long as he's made aware of it or sees it himself, he certainly makes sure that they have a business license. And I can tell you, we have found some that don't, and they're no longer there.
What is the fine if you find someone who repetitively has been doing that and they finally get caught? What is the penalty?
I don't believe there is one.
I don't know, but that's certainly something we can check with Derek. It's gotta be a fine if you're operating without, well, yes, if you're operating without a business
I
license.
mean, they're prohibited, of course, from operating any longer once they're caught, but I don't know about a fine.
Yes.
I'm sorry, a warning is issued the first time that Derek will go out, and then beyond that, it will be proposed to revoke the license, the business from operating, because they're not in compliance.
Okay.
If it's not specifically stated in our ordinance, the automatic fine is $1,093.50.
Okay. Thank you.
And just for a little bit more, the One Team LLC, the restaurant owner that wants to do this food truck in Georgetown, that's 6 days a week, they do not need electricity, they do not need water. Although, we did have a pole put up for the farmer's market, so there is electricity there. And I have told them, and I've spoken with Carol Williams from the growers market, who actually, that's who pays for that electric. If they decide they would like to use electric, we'll simply change the name on that service, and One Team LLC, can pick that up if they choose to do so. But they do have a generator. They've been in Georgetown before. They've done food trucks here.
Can you divulge the name?
I'm sorry?
Can you divulge the name?
Absolutely. It's Chick-fil-A.
Thank you. I knew everybody was waiting to hear that.
I was wondering if anyone was gonna ask.
Well, I knew, but I
know.
didn't, I wanted to.
I will tell you that the conversations that we've had over the last 2.5 months, of course, if we can bring Chick-fil-A here for 6 days a week for lunch, that's wonderful. That's all well and good. My long-term plan, obviously, through them and what they would like, if this is as successful as they expect it to be, we would like a brick and mortar store in Georgetown. I will tell you though, full disclosure, they do not have any say in that. That is strictly corporate. They certainly will turn in sales numbers, and they can do a request for consideration, but corporate makes the final decision. But I can tell you that we all know it's going to be successful, and they would like a brick and mortar store in Georgetown. So this is step one of hopefully making that happen down the road.
And they're making a longer term commitment than just 5 days.
Yeah, and, as you'll see in the lease agreement, we have, put it at 6 months. We didn't wanna make this open-ended. So we'll do a 6-month lease. If it's approved by council, we can certainly renegotiate that at that time if necessary.
Any other questions? All in favor of the motion, raise your right hand. Carry, both hands.
I think it's a great location, I'm just saying.
Thank you.
Really pulling them off.
Yeah, it's been a little bit tough to keep that a little quiet. I've been bursting at the seams ever since the first conversation, so we're very excited about this.
Next up, I need